Oh, hey, I'm meteorologist Ben Peine with a look at your forecast here for today. Oops, the mic is popping a little bit. Let me turn that down just a hair. Okay. Hey, I am a meteorologist Ben Peine. It is Ben at 10. It's your local weather show here for Southern Indiana, Metro Louisville, and beyond here for this January the 14th. Happy Hump Day. It is a Wednesday, and it is going to be tumbling temperatures out there for this Wednesday. And so we're going to be going from the 40s this morning down to around freezing late afternoon. We've had a batch of light rain moving through the area this morning. Most of that is now in Kentucky. A little drizzly here for part of the afternoon. A little bit of a break in the precip before we get this little batch of snow. That'll move in late afternoon into the evening time. Might put it out down a dusting in some areas, especially on elevated surfaces. I do not think the snow is a big deal this evening. The bigger deal is the punch of polar air that is on the way for tonight and into tomorrow morning. We're talking about some single-digit wind chills to get started for our Thursday, and just a frigid all-around day. Little warmer Friday, around 40 degrees, but we'll have a batch of light snow move through early Friday. Could cause some slick road conditions in some areas, especially north of 64. And then we're mostly dry Friday afternoon. Then we have some on and off snow showers for Saturday, and then maybe some busier weather late next week. So we'll look at all this with the weather graphics here coming up in just a moment. So again, I'm meteorologist Ben Peine. Thanks for joining me on my page. That is meteorologist Ben Peine on Facebook. Extol Weather. That is EXTOL if you're searching for that on Facebook, or EXTOL, Extol Media on YouTube, and extolmag.com/weather on the World Wide Web. So as we take a peek outside live right now, we will bring up the Falls of the Ohio Foundation.org camera, as we are powered by Starlink right now, but some exciting things are happening here in the Wild West neighborhood that we live in Borden, Indiana. We have fiber that was ran. So I've got a pre-order and I've signed up. We just don't know when the technicians will be out here. There is a indefinite time period. We do not know when we might get the fiber. We'll have to say goodbye to Starlink. But hey, at least we're on the pre-order. We're on the list to get that. All right, we've got gloomy conditions out here this morning. Again, there is a look at the light rain that we still have moving through the area. As I zoom in here a little bit, looks like it's still a bit wet over Metro Louisville, parts of Clark County, Indiana, getting in on some of this light rainfall. A little drizzle, a little spritz here and there around Madison, Indiana, up towards North Vernon. Looking drier west of I-65 in Indiana, but much of Kentucky with the light rainfall as well. Just kind of a nuisance light rain as this is passing through here this morning. And hey, enjoy the warmest part of today, as those temperatures will be plummeting later on this afternoon. So again, there's a live look at the Falls of the Ohio with some drops on it. Camera, fallsoftheohio.org camera, and I actually see some of those raindrops coming down on that camera lens. Hitting the refresh button here at extolmag.com/weather, where we've got our live stream up, and the current temperature of 45 degrees and the wind at 12. It is going to stay breezy today and tomorrow. That's going to add a wind chill. So definitely be prepared to bundle up for later today, and especially for tomorrow. Going to need to really dress warm, especially for the kiddos out at the bus stop tomorrow morning, as we will have wind chills in the single digits tomorrow morning, and then wind chills in the teens for tomorrow afternoon. So there's a look at some of the current conditions out there now. At our weather page here at extolmag.com, I've got my brand new 7-day forecast posted. We got some regional weather maps and national weather maps, regional radar, if you ever want to check that out. We've got interactive maps like this one right here, this big gray map, which shows two phases of this system that we're talking about. Number one is the light rain that we've had early this morning. Number two is this band of snow that is moving through the Chicagoland area right now. And I am just looking here at the different layers here. So we've got a precip type map. So this is showing blue as in rain, and then snow off to the north. We can bring up the high definition satellite. And again, these are all free tools for you to use as well at extolmag.com/weather. A lot of clouds around our area. North flow, you can kind of see that in the streaks and the clouds. And we're going to have some snow streaks moving in here late today and tonight as well. Our temperature map is going to show that cold front. Find the front. It is certainly easy to do. It is 20 degrees colder in Chicago right now. So 44 in Louisville, 25 in Chicago. That is what I've been calling the punch of polar air, the Polar Express on the way for Thursday. Now we get above freezing Friday, and then we've got punch number 2 happening this weekend. We're looking at possibly sub-zero wind chills for Sunday morning. You can see that wind flow uh, with that front moving into the region. And in that bluer area is where we have that leading edge of snow that'll move in here late afternoon and into the evening time. We've got a thing called rain thunder on here too. And then if you hit play, that's going to bring down the snowflakes. That's your forecast here, your future radar. So as we look at this into the future, there you can see as we head through later on tonight, we'll get this first batch of snow late afternoon, early evening, and then we start to see the snow overnight moving off to the east. Now, what I want you to watch here, coming in from the northwest, this is going to be Friday morning, early Friday morning. There's a batch of snow right there. Boom. And that could light accumulation and maybe some slick roads for early on Friday. And then we're stuck with these little pinwheels, these little spokes of energy going around this trough of low pressure that is centered to our northeast. So all these little things that you see coming through, those are snow showers for Saturday that could put down little dustings every once in a while. So we're going to be a little wintry here for Friday and Saturday. And again, some very cold air will be dropping into the region. So there's kind of a little preview of what's ahead here for us. And if you're new to the program on Ben at 10, I'd like to give you the current conditions right off the bat and a look at the forecast. We'll take a look at your weather jokes, your weather history, your weather countdown, the 7-day forecast, all that through about 10:20. After that, we'll start to dig into the weather model data and look at the extended forecast. And then we'll do a recap of the forecast as well. And then we'll get to some of your comments here in just a second. See who's tuning in. Please, if you have any questions, drop them in. Put me on the hot seat. Let me know if you have any questions for me. Let me get rid of that and add this. So our basic weather headlines here for today, we are talking about this evening snow. So there you can see that leading edge heading to the Ohio River. I'd say around 4 or 5 o'clock today, we could start to see the initial batch of snow move through. I think the roads will be fine, but we might have some reduced visibility briefly as we get some of these snow showers to push through. Here's your wind chills tomorrow morning. Burr, B-triple-R, Burr, out the door. So definitely bundling up a lot for tomorrow morning. That's the story for Thursday. This is Friday morning story. That's a batch of some snow that'll be passing through the region with some light accumulations possible, maybe some slick spots to get started early Friday. Would not be surprised if we get some school delays, perhaps. Okay, and then our weather headlines for today. Dropping temperatures from the 40s now. We're at 45, 44, 45 right now. We'll be down to around freezing late afternoon. We'll have that late day evening batch of snow moving through. We'll have a dusting in spots. Friday and Saturday snow showers, especially Friday morning. It looks mostly dry Friday afternoon, then some on and off snow showers Saturday. And that'll provide some more dustings off and on. So they're not impressive snowfalls here over the next few days. But if you want some snow, if you're a snow lover, just little appetizers here for you coming our way. All right, we got a bunch of comments coming in, and we'll take a look at who's popping in the show this morning. We've got Beverly Haggis from Borden, Indiana, almost always the first one to drop in. I'm waving to you from across the hill, looking out the weather window 5,000. Okay, Dennis Gregory with a good morning from cloudy Bedford. Good morning, sir. And Alice Young, good morning to you. We got Orlean Whitlow with 45 degrees in Hodgenville, a little drizzle, a little dreary. Thank you for that report right there. Erica from Charlestown, thanks for tuning in. And Christian Walker. We did not take down the Christmas tree yet. That's all right. Keep it up. Christian saying, hey, Ben, are we going to get -0 or above 0? Well, wind chills are going to be near 0 tomorrow morning, and then I think sub-zero for you for Sunday morning. Uh-oh, Christian's on his 4th cup of coffee. Oh, I forgot to mention, we've got big old Grumpy Cat today, and that looks exactly like our cat, Mr. P. And Mr. P has been extra loud. Working from home, I didn't know how loud he is. But those orange cats, if you look at orange cats on like YouTube and TikTok, there's a bunch of videos about how crazy orange cats are. and we've got a crazy orange cat, and there he is. I've got the grumpy cat out because all right, that was a pretty good dropout there. There's Starlink give, giving us a little bit of a dropout. Let's get back to the comments here this morning, and we'll start to dig into that forecast. Hey, we've got Perry Porter with a good morning with the coffee. Here's his joke. We got jokes from Perry Porter. Why did the coffee shop close early? It was a bit of a grind. Nice drop in with the jokes here this morning. All right, so every morning you're gonna have coffee jokes with Perry Porter. We're gonna have to get that sponsored by my cup runneth over in Borden, Indiana. Oh, okay. Lillian Lasley, good morning. 46 degrees. Rusty Brooks, hey, good morning to you. And, hey, and I apologize if we get a brief dropout with the Starlink internet. Uh, it's never going out completely. It usually comes back very quickly. Beverly, I guess waving back. Christian asking about, are we going to have a couple of inches of snow today? Probably not today. I would say your best chance is going to be Friday, Saturday. You might get a couple inches up there. Um, thank you very much, Orlean. Good morning to John Fox and Janet Berry. Thank you very much. Those crazy orange cats. All right, here we go. Back to a quick look outside at the gray and gloomy conditions that we have out here with the Falls of the Ohio Foundation.org camera. And we've got some raindrops coming down. And let's get to thanking our sponsors, and then we'll dig into that forecast as promised. So we have here Lyons Roofing, Lyons. They're right out of Memphis, Indiana. And they've got you covered on both sides of the river. You can get a free quote, 812-294-3595. And also, if you were impacted by the March hailstorm, what I've heard is that a lot of insurance policy, you've got up to about a year to make that claim. That's coming up to a year very soon. Just a reminder there. So protecting your most valuable asset for a lifetime. You get free quotes here online at lionsroofingco.com. And you can just give them a call, 812-294-3595. I want to thank our partners here at Ivy Tech Community College. They've had a refresh on their webpage here. Looking good. Head to the Sellersburg campus, and you're going to learn about all of their 2-year certification programs that they have for you. And they're all about making it accessible to you as well. You can do like 2 colleges at once. They're helping veterans like crazy, financial benefits, financial aid. They want to move you ahead. So if you're just starting a career, want a new career, want a career change, check it out. And you can sign up for Tuesdays at the Tech. They've got an exciting 2026 that we're going to be talking a lot about in the months ahead. And a shout out to my buddy Michael Long, too, with amfam.com. You can search Michael Long right here at amfam.com. It'll take you right to this page. He is proud to be an American Star certified agency, excellence in customer experience. Okay, that was a hardcore dropout right there. So let me get things going again here. That was the biggest Starlink dropout we've had so far. So thanks for bearing with us here. Let me get things loaded back in and we'll get cruising along here. I think we were here. Okay, hopefully we'll be back for the rest of the show. We've got, again, if you want to get a quote, 812-578-3072 Michael Long with amfam.com. I want to thank our partners here at Libs Paving. Just want to mention, you can go to their careers section at libspaving.com. If you know somebody that wants an opportunity, you can cruise down to the bottom and you can see all the available opportunities right there. All right, let's get rocking and rolling here with your forecast here this morning, guys. Sorry for those dropouts. It's been a rough go with the Starlink so far this morning. But we got Mary Dale with steady rain in Linden. Yes, and good morning to Teresa Wilkins here this morning. There's Lisa's comment right there. Boy, the Starlink is rough this morning. Sorry, guys. It's a Wednesday. We've got gremlins. Okay, so there's the rain that we have across the area as Lisa Elbel was mentioning here this morning. There you can see that rain coming down. So some wet, damp roads here over Metro Louisville in parts of Clark County. Mostly for areas along and south of the Ohio River, maybe a little spritz there up in North Vernon. We got a clearing out to the west. And then here is the snow that will be moving in later today. They've actually got snow squall advisories and warnings here this morning. Let me hit a pause on this. Those are kind of interesting. Snow squalls are brief bursts of heavy snow that limit your visibility. And let me click on this here. That's a snow squall warning. So you can get gusty winds and reduced visibilities and very quick accumulations, and it can cause some slick roads. So they've got that up just south of Chicago, around Lafayette, Indiana. Snow squall warnings. I don't think we'll get that, but it's not out of the realm of possibilities. So that's what we're waiting on here. This is going to be the leading edge of that cold air that's going to be dropping in late this afternoon. So it'll be probably just a quick hit of some snow, and then there won't be much after that. So that could put down a dusting as it moves in late today. And that's what's showing up here on this map right here. So this is showing our late day evening band of snow. So right now that's up around Chicago. There you can see that leading edge here moving in later on today. And we got a Barbara Haas with the good morning saying bringing it. And Christian, the Martin Luther King Day forecast, MLK Day, is looking cold and dry. I've got a high of 30 degrees for Monday. But it will be warmer in Miami, where IU will be taking on Miami in the college football championship. Here's your wind chills tomorrow morning in the single digits. Crossing my fingers for the rest of the show that the Starlink will behave. We've had some solid dropouts this morning. But again, I've got fiber on order. And also, we're going to be back in the Extol Media Studios here very soon as things are rolling along there in New Albany, Indiana. I was just checking to make sure everything was good as we start to dig into the forecast here this morning. Okay, so moving right along. Okay, dropping temperatures today to around freezing late day. Late day evening batch of snow moves through, dusting in spots. Friday morning, we got a batch of snow that'll move through early that could cause some slick spots on the roads. Minor accumulation with that. Some Saturday on and off snow showers and more dustings from time to time. Not any big snows there with that. We've got 13 days until our 6 p.m. sunsets. Average highs in the 50s and 37 days. The time change in 53 days. That's March 8th as we close in on 8 p.m. sunsets. And we're 64 days away from the brand new 2026 spring season. Hey, that's only over a little more than a couple months away. We're getting there. Yeah, yes, indeed. That is chilly for our MLK Day, Christian Walker. Our weather history for today, 1882, a Southern Cali snow that blocked trains at the San Gorgonio Pass. There was up to like 6 feet of snow in some of the cuts there. 1932 EF4 tornado in Trenton, Tennessee, resulting in 10 fatalities there in 1932. Oh, before that, 1988, Louisville had its second biggest snowfall in January at 10 and a half inches of snow on this date back in 1918. In 1972 in Montana, the world record, check this out, 103-degree change in temperatures in 24 hours from negative 54 to 49 degrees in 24 hours. World record there in Loma, Montana. So these are all things that I just never knew. In 2016, Hurricane Alex, 10 years ago, first January hurricane in the Atlantic since 1955. Our stupid jokes of the day. I've got a good friend, Tony, in Indianapolis that I went to college with at Ball State. That was my roommate, so this is a joke for him. My friend Tony said not to say his name backwards. I said, why not? Y-N-O-T. Why not? Name 2 structures that hold water. Well, damn. It's a PG-13 joke. Oh, I'm a 2-year-old, 3-year-old maybe. All right, this is for my musician friends, especially drummers. What did the drummer name his 2 daughters? And a 1 and a 2. All right, we're moving right along there. All right, today's forecast highs, I shouldn't even say highs because the highs are right now in the 40s. We're going to be dropping to the 30s later this afternoon with that late day evening snow moving through. Northwest winds at around 10 to 20, so the 30s will feel like the 20s later on today. Our sunset right around 5:45. Hey, there you go. 19 tonight with wind chills in the single digits getting started after the evening snow showers. It's going to be mainly dry overnight and just frigid. And again, those temperatures are the main story. Oh, hey, we got some love for the jokes from Beverly Higgis, from Lily Lasley, and from Orlean Whitlow. Thank you very much. And your forecast here for tomorrow. Thank you very much, Christian Walker. We appreciate you. Okay, so tomorrow morning, again, very, very cold. Bundle up all day, 26 at noon, 29 going for that afternoon high. But you factor in that 10 to 20 mile per hour wind, it could feel just like the teens in the afternoon. 7:58 sunrise, 5:46 sunset. Normal high is 43, so we're going about 14 degrees below normal for this time of the year. Here's that 7-day forecast. We're going to be, again, polar for tomorrow, and then a little better, above freezing for Friday, but we'll have a batch of morning snow Friday. It looks mainly dry Friday afternoon. That batch of morning snow Friday could cause some issues on the roads. We're going to watch that because it's going to be very cold in the lower 20s to start off Friday. So that should stick on contact. That might cause some delays, maybe. We'll see about school closings. That'll be interesting. That'll be a fun show to do live. As that snow is coming down or wrapping up. We'll see. All right, then Saturday is on and off light snow showers, maybe a dusting at times, a high of around 30 there. Down to 14 Saturday night. Wind chills will be around 0. And then Sunday, 27. Down to 16 Sunday night. Now, look at this trend that we're in as we go into next week. Looking mostly dry next week. Might be a few flurries from time to time. But we're looking at below freezing highs for a 4-day stretch and low temperatures in the teens at nighttime. So if it warmed up and you got the hose out, maybe you washed a car, you did some power washing, you might want to unscrew that hose again and do maybe some re-winterizing with these cold temperatures on the way. Next Wednesday should be back above freezing at 37 degrees. Now, there's been the weather models are not handling next weekend very good. They were showing a decent snow chance. That storm has lifted farther north, which puts us possibly more in the rain zone. But even with that, so much that can change between now and then. But just the moral of the story here is that the weather pattern looks more active as we head towards the next weekend. So we could see, we've got little tiny systems moving through today, Friday, Saturday that don't add up to much. This looks like a bigger storm system that could be within the region somewhere around next weekend. It's just something that'll be fun to watch as I smack the microphone there. Get the B's and R's back out. Are you referring to the B triple R's? All right, we got the grumpy cat. Here you go. 10:25, and the Starlink internet is behaving better for now. I shouldn't have said that. I better knock on wood. All right, we've knocked on wood. That means we're about ready to head into the weather maps portion of this show as we look into the future. Isn't it amazing when you step back and you realize we're looking into the future, things that have not yet happened, and we're looking into the future with mathematics, millions of math problems that get churned out in these supercomputers, and then they get turned into maps that we look at right here. And we're just like, okay. And then we get mad at the weather models for being wrong or whatever. It's like, hey, this is magical stuff that's happening. Okay. Shout out to weather models since we're going to look at the weather models. All right, let's bring up the future radar. And what should we start with? The HRRR, the high resolution rapid refresh weather model. I'm going to go to the precip type. I'm kind of mad at I'm going to try to change these color palettes. That looks a little bit better here. So what's in Chicago now with snow squalls, or even south of Chicago right now? Let me stop drawing on that. Is this batch of some snow? This is 3 p.m. today, by the way. Let me zoom in a little bit here. There's a potential that could be kind of squallish, meaning brief gusty winds, low visibility, maybe a quick dusting with this line of snow showers that moves through with that cold front. So this is at 3 p.m. today, around that time, maybe moving into around Highway 50. That would be around North Vernon, Seymour, Brownstown, Mitchell, Bedford, Indiana, late afternoon time period right there with that. And let's jump it ahead. We'll just kind of go hour by hour here as we track the squallish style snow showers that'll be moving through. Now, the thing is, there might be some space between these snow squalls. You might be like, what the heck? I didn't get anything out of this. Or if you're in the snow squall type heavy snow shower briefly, you're going to be like, dang, that was pretty crazy. So that's kind of the nature of this. They're going to be kind of streaks as they move in from the north. This here, by the way, is at 4 p.m. today. So you see that heading towards Madison, Clark County, Floyd County, Indiana. And so kind of a quick hitter as this moves in late today. And as we head towards the peak of the evening commute, heading towards 5 p.m., starting to see that leading edge of the snow showers moving over the river, Metro Louisville. Now you're looking at that possibly impacting areas east of I-65, I-71, 64 in Kentucky. There you can see those snow showers at 5 p.m. Going now. Oh, very nice. Very nice, Christian Walker. Got the fireplace on, the TV on, rocket and roll on there. I've got the wood stove fired up. It was pretty warm last night because we had pretty mild temperatures. I had to keep the stove going because I didn't want to restart it as the temperatures dropped today. So we get a little toasty in here, but feeling good now. Look at those batches of snow moving towards Lexington. This is around 6 p.m. And notice once we get that kind of quick blast of snow moving through late afternoon, early evening, there's not much happening after that. There might be a couple flurries overnight, but most of the activity is going to be cruising off to the east. All right, so that system begins to pull away, and we're looking mainly dry for the rest of the night. And so now our story goes to cold weather. So this here is 4 a.m. No, this is today at 4 a.m. Let's go here till the overnight period. Here comes that punch of polar air. Look at that. Oh, boy. That's cold stuff. That is a trough. That is a dip in the jet stream. Take a look here at the 500 millibar winds. This is about 18,000 feet, and that is a trough. That is a bowling ball of a trough. Look at this thing going all the way down on the Gulf Coast. So I hope we've all learned this from now. When the jet stream dives down, it opens the door, a free flow of Canadian polar air dropping way down to the south. So there we go. Weather is easy. There you go. Dip in the jet stream, polar air dropping south. So there we go. This is 7 a.m. wind chills. I mean, it gets a lot worse up to the north, but let's take a look at this as we plot this out here for you. We'll query the map, and it shows single digit numbers here out the door. And there you go, John Fox, B triple R Burr right there. We're breaking out more R's beyond the B tomorrow morning. Okay, so very cold. And then this is tomorrow afternoon. Our high wind chills in the teens with the actual high in the upper 20s. So 20s feeling like the teens tomorrow afternoon. That is the bigger story than this little shout of some snow showers late afternoon, early evening. We've had mild temperatures here recently. This is going to sting if you're outside tomorrow. So just be prepared for that. But that's not even the worst. I don't think that's the worst it's going to be. So I just want to give you a peek at our Sunday, the 18th. And Sunday morning, we'll go. Sorry, I had a little brain hiccup there. So that's not good. When you get this gray, white area, those are all negative numbers. So this is Sunday morning wind chills. It's a lot worse for Christian up there. A lot of negative numbers. So that's pretty brutal. That's Sunday morning. Winter's locking in, friends. It was pretty chilly for the rest of this month. And Christian sums it up pretty perfectly there. Although Christian says, ouch, I might say that's more than chilly. That's more than chilly. Oh no, we've got a mid-show joke here from Perry Porter. Breaking news with a coffee joke here this morning. Snow ice cream sounds good this weekend. Last joke for the day. What do you call a cup of coffee that's always late? Slow brew. I like it. Very good. Thank you, Perry. Perry's joke sponsored by. I'll have to give a cut of the Perry's joke sponsorship to Perry. Hey, why not? Okay, so that's our Sunday afternoon. Okay, that's our Sunday morning. Here's Sunday afternoon wind chills, by the way. If you're curious, it's going to be a frigid weekend. Single-digit afternoon wind chills for Sunday. Just lovely. And we could be below freezing. It's possible we could be below freezing Saturday through Tuesday, that entire time period. So I think overall, cold is the bigger story. Fun to see some snowflakes every now and again, which we will late this afternoon and early Friday and often on Saturday. We're going to have little dustings every now and again. So snow is not the big story here. It's just fun, festive flakes, although we're past the festive part of the year. But cold is here the bigger story. Wonder if we'll get any of those frost quakes. You hear about that? That was kind of a popular thing on the social media. Every once in a while, if you freeze very quickly, the groundwater just below the surface can freeze and make kind of a boom every once in a while. I don't think I've ever heard it, but people love those frost quakes. All right, so there you go. That's the wind chill map. I'm going to go to the temperature map here, and before we look at the long range that'll take us out 384 hours, almost the rest of January, we're going to look at here with the temperature maps. I do want to look at the storm prediction, not the storm prediction center, the climate prediction center's outlook, which is kind of fun to see what they're looking at here. This is the 6 to 10 day outlook from the climate prediction center. Adds up. Orleans saying, when will it get above 32 degrees? So we're going to be below that tomorrow. We'll get above that for a while Friday afternoon. And then we might be below freezing Saturday through Tuesday. Then we should be above freezing again Wednesday. So good question there. Okay. So this shows the troughiness of our weather pattern here. Very simple weather pattern. East Coast trough, Great Lakes trough, southwestern United States desert ridge. So the jet stream is doing this. We got the hump over the west and a trough over the east. The trough brings down the cold air. The ridge promotes above normal temperatures. So that's our outlook through next week, below normal temperatures. And then we could also look at the 8 to 14 day outlook. So this takes us over the next couple of weeks. I would think it would be fairly similar, as this trough to me looks like it's kind of locked in place. So the northern half. So we still have this little bit of troughiness here, possibly more below normal temperatures than above for the rest of this month. As we're almost here to mid-January, January 14th, and then above normal temperatures south. Good morning. All righty. Okay, now, as we're talking about, let's bring back up the future temperatures here. We're going to bring up the GFS weather model and look at any more cold spells on the way. And we're gonna jump ahead to, let's just go to the 21st, next Wednesday. And there you can see we still have some below normal temperatures over the region. So if you're looking for a warm up, that's the yellow and orange over the Gulf Coast. Just keep your eyes on that. If you want frigid winter weather, it's this gray and white area off to the north. And so we're going to go day by day here. And this is looking at 231 hours out at January 23rd. This looks like pretty normal temperatures. Going to the 24th of January, pretty normal temperatures, warm south, cold north, pretty flat flow with the jet stream. Going to the 25th, here at 10:37 a.m. on your Wednesday morning. A little bit of cold air intrusion there, perhaps nothing crazy, as the severe extreme cold stays north, warm south. Going into the 26th of January with the extended forecast. Little spilling in some cold air. This shows below normal temperatures, near freezing for highs, kind of like what we have this week. The rest of this week, that's the 26th, 27th. Are we going to see anything crazy on the long range outlooks? Well, there's something. There's a little bit of a dip. We'll see where that dip goes. But near normal temperatures there, going to the 28th. 28th. All right, that's a cold front. That brings in some cold air. I'm just curious if there's any snow with this. So we'll go to the P type. It shows a little bit of snow potential there with that system. Will this happen? It's a long ways out, but it just gives us some hope, and it kind of looks at the overall weather pattern. So that shows some snow potential right around the 28th. Big question mark on the timing of these things that far out. But again, in general, that just shows you a signal for what our weather could be more like. More cold than warm over the next couple of weeks through the rest of January. All right, I'm going back to the temperature map here as I bring this ahead to the 29th of January. Some cold air over our region. The negative numbers are staying north. And this is as far out as the GFS goes into the very early morning hours of the 30th. And there's some data that might suggest that we go into a colder pattern, the very late portions of January and into early February. There's a monster of cold air up there. You can see all these negative numbers. So we'll see if February really takes, old man winter really takes a trip down here in February. With that said, we might still get some little snow chances here and there. And then I want to take a peek real quickly as we wrap up the extended forecast at next weekend. I think that is the 24th. Oops, let me get rid of that. This is the 24th. This is that bigger storm system that I was talking about that will likely move into the region, not this weekend, next weekend. And it looks like it's tracking farther north. I said if we want a big snow, we need the low pressure system to track along the Tennessee and Kentucky state line. It looks like that might be tracking a little farther north. So it has the better chances of snow along the north of I-70. This is on the 24th. I think that's a Saturday. So 22nd, Thursday, 23rd, Friday. Yeah, 24th is Saturday. So system looks like right, and this will fluctuate. These things change. These tracks change north and south. We'll see what it eventually ends up doing. It'll be interesting to watch if the system still stays a system. But it just shows you that the models are showing some active weather next weekend with that right there. For now, we're on the wet side, snow north. Not good news for snow lovers right there. Okay. It's coming up to 10:41. We're talking a lot here this morning. So that has been good old Ben on a limb segment. Okay, real quickly, we'll take a look at the radar and satellite. As we still have some light rainfall along and south of the Ohio River. All right, and then as we look to the north, there are snow squall warnings heading towards Lafayette, Indiana. So that's that snow that'll be dropping our way late this afternoon and into the early evening. We might get some gusty winds, maybe a brief dusting, some reduced visibilities as that pushes on through our area. I'd say maybe 3, 4 o'clock, 3-ish, around Bedford, Seymour, North Vernon. Maybe around 4-ish for Madison and much of southern Indiana, 4 or 5 o'clock for the Ohio River, Metro Louisville, for that right there. There are a lot of reports from this. So we got, what do we have here? Wind gust at 43 miles per hour, a lot of wind gust report. Snow squall report, 0.2 miles in the snow squall. So visibility dropped with that. Got an inch of snow out of it up there. I don't think we'll see that much. A lot of 40. We got Skeeter barking. 40 mile per hour wind gusts. And a little bit of a dusting of snow with that. So there you go. That's that punch of polar air with a little bit of snow activity heading our way later on today. Looks like we got a few comments popping in. And Crystal Bruner, good morning. Snow on the grassy areas only, please. I think that's the case for today. And but Friday morning, we'll have to watch out for maybe some slick spots as well. All right, I'm going to get rid of this right here. And we'll take a quick look at current conditions. We'll reload the forecast, and that will be a Wednesday show. All right, I've got all the maps loaded up here. So let me get rid of that, and let's bring this back up. And just a reminder, if you have any weather questions or if you want to learn about check that. Advertising or marketing solutions, there you go. Ben at extolmag.com or Jason at extolmag.com. We may have a delivery out the front door there. You can see that snow chance there late today as that polar front begins to move in. And behind that, we got single-digit wind chills tomorrow morning. Looks like the utility company is about to shut my power off. So let's jump ahead to the 7-day forecast. They're changing the meter out. Here you go. The electric company is about to shut the show down. So frigid tomorrow. We're looking at some light snow early Friday. Could cause some slick spots on and off light snow for Saturday. It's chaotic around here. And maybe a dusting at times Saturday. All right. And then very cold as we head through much of next week. All right, we're going to wrap it up right there because they're about to shut the power off. Yeah. Okay. All right, they're gonna shut the power off. We'll see you later. We'll see you tomorrow morning, same time, same place. Ben at 10 a.m. right here on my page, Meteorologist Ben Peine, Extol Weather on Facebook, extolmag.com/weather on the World Wide Web, and Extol Media on YouTube. I want to thank our partners at Lions Roofing, lionsroofingco.com, Ivy Tech, ivytech.edu, Sellersburg campus.